Hello guys, Assalamu alaikum. This is Mavisha. This is the 100th time I am coming live, and today I have someone really amazing coming in. Dr. Any guys, I need you to grab your paper pencils. It's gonna be a learning conversation. You're gonna learn so many things from Dr. Annie, and I've had her many times on my podcast, and every time it's been phenomenal having her over, talking to her. She's a therapist, she's a coach, she's an author, and she lives in UK. And I had this time confusion thing with her, so that's why I came in earlier, and I couldn't place her. So that's it. I'm just trying to. So I am just here waiting for her so that we can have a conversation. Guys, I'm so not well today. I'm so tired. My friend is here. Hey, Michael, how are you? God, there's this account writing crazy stuff on my live, and I had to like literally go and block them. I don't know if you all could read their comments on the live stream, but really annoying. I'm great, Michael. Were you able to read the person's messages on my live stream? Gosh, literally had to close it a couple of times. Anyway, guys, today Dr. Annie is coming in the house, and we're going to talk. I want you to grab your paper pencils because look here. I already have mine. Right? So weird, right, Michael? I like literally had to write and block. Now they're going to make another account and try to stalk me, but whatever. I couldn't focus, so I had to literally go off and block them. So anyway, getting to the point, guys, I came in an hour before, and I mixed up the time with the UK time. So her 5 p.m. is my 10 p.m., not 9 p.m. So I'm back here live, bringing Dr. Annie, a therapist, a coach, an author, a phenomenal person. I've done a couple of lives with her. Yeah, I know, right? I've done a couple of lives with her, and they've been incredible. I've always learned tons and tons of things from her. If you are not following her yet, I encourage you to follow her. If you're in this space trying to figure out emotional abuse, narcissistic abuse, and psychological abuse, I would give a big shout out to her and recommend you all to follow her. She has different programs, different things on her page that you could also do. I totally love her, and I wonder where she is right now. I really wonder where she is. And let me see. Somehow when I try to find her, I think she has an option or something where I cannot send her a message to come live, but I'm just waiting for her, guys. Today we're going to learn about gray rock method. We're going to learn about silent treatment. We're going to learn about no contact. We're going to learn about reactive abuse. And I'm really looking forward to learning about reactive abuse. So that's something that's been on my list. So I'm really looking forward to that part of the conversation with Dr. Annie. If you have anything you would want to ask her, send in your questions right now so I can put them down and bring them up when she's here. She is a therapist, she's a coach, and she's an author, like I said. And I'm waiting for her. Yes. I don't know what happened there. Anyways, I am just, I don't know where she is. Okay, let's see if I can do something from here. Or maybe abuse healing. Maybe if I did like this, abuse, abuse, healing. I'm trying to send her a request, and it's not letting me. I can see her, but I can't send her a request. For those of you who are tuning in, guys, I am waiting for Dr. Annie, and I don't know what's going on. So I'm just waiting for her to connect, and then we can start our conversation. Do you think if I move this a little bit, this would be better? Yes. Um, yes, that's it. I'm just waiting. I cannot go offline again. Like literally, I've gone off so many times. If I go off, I log in and then I have to do the introduction again. I cannot do that. So, oh, there she is. Finally, we have her in the house. Got it.
Hiya.
Hello.
We have had so many confusions about the time today.
I know, right? It
Yes.
was, and it's like, I went live right my 9 p.m. and I was like, where is she? She's never late. And then I stayed on 15 minutes talking to myself, and then I went off. And then I
Yeah.
was like, let me check the time. And I was like, oh, I did check the time, and then the confusion was cleared. But I'm so glad we're here, Dr. Eddie. It's
Yes.
always an honor and a privilege to have you. I have my notebook and my pencil because I'm always learning. And I already told my audience to grab their copy pencils because it's going to be one hell of a learning conversation.
Well, I certainly hope so. And I think after all the confusion, we deserve to deliver something, don't we?
Yeah, absolutely. Dr. Lee, let's start with the gray rock method. How would you explain in your terms? What is the gray rock method?
Well, the grey rock method, as I feel, is all about reclaiming your power. In fact, people always talk about grey rock as being something that is just to shut a difficult conversation down. But I think that
Mm,
if you've got to deal with people and you've got to have difficult conversations, it's crazy just to shut the conversation down. If you have to have the
mm,
damn thing, why don't you get something out of it and reclaim your power? So that's all about the way that I do grey rock. And
mm,
I realized very recently, because I've just done a masterclass on grey rock, how to be a grey rock star, that I had to learn about grey rock in my relationship with my mother. And I spent a lot of time working how to make grey rock work for me without even realizing that that was what I was doing. But she was a narcissistic lady who threw out a lot of barbs in every conversation. And towards the
mm,
end of her life, when she wanted to have some contact with me and I chose to have contact with her, I had to think how to handle it. And that was
mm,
when, without being aware of it, I began evolving my version of grey rocking. So I think
mm.
absolutely fabulous technique.
That's amazing. That's such a new approach to it because usually, when we talk about gray method, it's like becoming like a rock. It's like not having a conversation with somebody who's abusive while choosing not to show interest in them and not showing any emotions. But you actually just flipped it and saying, yes, it's all that, but it's actually more about holding your power in that moment. Because once you say, you know what you say doesn't define me, that is power.
Yeah,
And you do not control me. So the gray method is a kind of power of knowing where you're coming from and what you're going to take in and what you're not going to take in, right?
absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
And there seems to be nothing intelligent to me in sitting there and trying to defend yourself,
Mm,
especially if it's someone that you've got to have repeated conversations with, like a narcissist. You have
mm,
got to find a way of managing it better and coming at things from an empowered state. Otherwise, it's really not good for you. Does this
mm.
make sense?
Yes, yes, absolutely. Dr.
Mm.
Lee, but my question would be, when you're dealing with a narcissistic person, do you think that the gray rock method always works, or it could sometimes put you in danger because you're choosing not to feed them what they're asking for?
Well, I think that there are a couple of questions here. The first question is, how potentially violent and dangerous are they anyway? And that's something that you've got to face. The second question is, if you appease them, you're not doing yourself a lot of favors anyway, because they learn that they can come back for more.
Mm,
So
mm,
what you want to do is certainly to make their best option of conversation unsatisfactory. And
mm,
therefore, that opens the way to doing things differently. But I think
mm,
it's always about doing things from an empowered state of mind. I hear
mm,
so many women, chiefly because I speak chiefly with women, who say, yes, but there's nothing that I can do about it. That's a terrible situation to start from. It's a terrible belief. It is
mm.
always about, how can I play this so that I at least come away from it feeling proud of myself, that I've done the best that I can do in the circumstances.
Interesting. That's really interesting and really empowering. The way you're stating everything around it, it's really empowering. It's not like I'm weak or I'm being abused, that victim mentality. It's all about empowering and knowing. And it's really interesting. I really put that down because the gray rock method always was about just becoming a rock and not interacting, but just having, it's actually really is true. Like I said before, it's just knowing your power, that I hold the power to not let that bother me and not let that define me.
Mm,
Another question is, when you're in a narcissistic abusive relationship and you've been in that for years and now you're exhausted, right?
mm,
And you start to disengage and you start to not communicate, but you're not really understanding where you're coming from. I mean, I could speak from my experience. When I went gray rock, I didn't know I was going what I was doing. I just felt exhausted from one side of the story,
mm,
and it was like I can't deal with the same conversations again and again about this one
mm,
person. It's always the same story every day, and I just felt exhausted, so I would just fidget with my phone, pick up my iPad, and
mm,
just try not to have a conversation, because I knew every time
mm.
I would have a conversation, it's going to lead to attacking to me.
Yeah.
So for people who are in that scenario and do not know, like for instance me, in that scenario, I didn't know what was going on. What uh or what would you say to them right now if somebody's listening and they're feeling exhausted emotionally in the relationship? What would you say to them?
Well, I would say to them that there is a whole lot to learn about how best to manage the conversation, that there are various different parts to it. But the most important thing is to break free of your expectations about how you have to behave. I spent a long time in a narcissistic relationship too. Yes. And one of the things that really helped was when suddenly I changed my responses. There was a time when my horrible husband had agreed that my daughter and I could get a dog. We very, very much wanted a dog. And I'd done a huge amount of research about this dog. And I'd picked a perfect breed who was sweet-tempered, who didn't shed, who didn't upset asthmatics, who would be everything we wanted, who wasn't yappy. And I'd found the perfect breeder who was my kind of lunatic. And we were going to see that puppy that day. And we're driving along, and my husband did the narcissist thing. And he said to me, I don't want a bloody dog. We're not getting a bloody dog. I'm going to turn the car around now. And my daughter, who desperately wanted a dog too, is sitting in the car hearing this. And part of me went, oh my God, he's doing it again. What am I going to do? This is so awful. And at the same time, I heard this little voice issue from me, which said, you can either be part of the problem or you can be part of the solution. What are you going to do? And he just went, what? And he was stunned because I had totally broken the pattern of bullying and frightened response, that he kept going. We got the dog. The dog was wonderful. And basically, I realized that I'd got myself a great dog, that the husband was a waste of space, and it wasn't too long before the Shih Tzu shared my bed with me, and he was out of the house and separated and soon to be divorced. But the actual ploy was, instead of me going on the defensive, I just suddenly gave him a situation. A different response from me got a different response from him in the moment. Now, that wasn't the relationship done and dusted, but that was the beginning of changing the power dynamic. And that's an important thing to do.
Yes, I totally agree with you, Doctor. That was amazing. It is so true. For me, it's the same way. One day, inner voice, and I realized that, you know what? Whatever this person says is just a mere reflection of themselves, how they see themselves. So when they're trying to bring me down, they're actually just mirroring their own self. So I don't need to feed on that, because that's definitely not the definition of who I am. And it was just like just sitting there listening to them, but having no expression at all.
Yeah.
And that was it. And that was like, oh, now I have my power, because now I'm not feeding to what they want, the drama, the yelling, and we'll get to the reactive abuse also, but all that. Somebody was asking a question, and that was, please advise if your daughter is a narcissist. I don't know what that means, but that's a question they asked. I think she's trying to ask how she can place if her daughter is a narcissist. I think that's what she's trying to ask.
If that's what it means, it's a really difficult one. First of all, I think you have to be really careful of when you define your child as a narcissist. Children are not narcissists, or they're not confirmed narcissists. Teenagers are not narcissists. It takes at least for a person to be a young adult for you to be able to say, yeah, I actually think that person is a narcissist. If it's just that they're being rather selfish and they're younger, then I would say you have to hold the line for them. If you're dealing with another adult who is treating you with disrespect, and contempt and lying to you, and if that's your child, then you've got a very difficult situation. You have to define what kind of relationship you choose to have with them, if any.
She's saying she's my daughter. She's 27 years old and she's a narcissist.
Right. So
Mm.
then the next question is, what kind of relationship does she want with that 27-year-old?
Right, and that's something she needs to ask herself.
Yeah.
Um, Dr. Annie, let's head on to the next topic. From gray rock method, let's talk about the silent treatment.
Yes.
Um, would you want to shed some light on? I think everybody should be aware about what silent treatment is, but let's get a brief definition from you.
Well, the silent treatment is a very childish technique that narcissists use a lot to punish you. It's really good because they suddenly stop speaking to you. Maybe they'll tell you what you've done wrong first, but quite often they won't. And
Mm,
it's a very good way of making you feel rejected, excluded, and
mm,
worth. And they will do it for as long as they like. And then all of a sudden, they may just resume normal relation.
mm.
Or
Yes.
they may equally, my own ex-husband's speciality was to pick a fight and then resume normal relationships. They can do it either way. They can be quite versatile about it. But it is a way of really damaging you and getting you to cave in and apologize
Mm,
for something you likely didn't do. And
mm.
yes, it's,
It's like they want us to be more confused and kind of like think that we are the problem when they give us the silence. It's a kind of manipulation. So you start to question your reality and think that did I do something or did I say or do something that has put them off because of the silent treatment. And I think within that confusion, like you said, the bubble breaks. Either they come back through one day acting like nothing ever happened, and they're back to normal, or in your situation, they just start off the conversation with a fight and then everything goes back to normal.
yes, and the beauty, exactly, and the beauty of the silent treatment is that it is a very low cost strategy for the narcissist. They actually hate the demands of a relationship. So to shut it down for a few days or hours or weeks or months in some cases, it just means that it's like they don't have the of what they perceive as demands in their ears. They still get serviced in all likelihood as much as they want to be serviced. They'll probably get their food on the table, their clothes cleaned. It works for them. They've just shut the demands out while it drives you absolutely crazy until when you've been in a relationship long enough, they go silent on you and you go, oh, hallelujah, at least I'm not going to hear that for a few days.
Yeah, right.
It gets to the stage where they're so boring and formulaic that the silent treatment is a welcome break.
It is, right. I
Yeah.
remember I remember just understanding my husband's pattern, where I knew, oh, okay, the silent treatment is about to come. So I was actually looking forward to it, because then I was like, okay, I get me time here because he's
Yes,
not going to bother me. So
yes,
it's okay. It always made me anxious, I won't lie, but I did, one part of me did look forward to it, because then I would get my space, which otherwise I couldn't, because I was always standing on demand to his needs and his wants and all that.
yeah. And did you get to the point where you guessed, okay, judging on past performance, this is probably going to last for X amount of time?
Yes,
Yeah,
yes, yes, yes. It's the 3 days or the 7 days.
yeah,
And I knew exactly the days they would walk in, and now, okay, this is the day the ice is gonna melt and they're gonna have a conversation with you. Or you
yeah,
could just tell by the way they were walking in the house that, okay, today they've planned to reconcile for whatever reasons.
yes. And my ex
Yes.
had the face like thunder that he would use during it, and then all of
Mm.
a sudden it would go.
Mm. Right.
And
I
yeah,
like that.
yes, and there'd be little signals which were actually, you can approach me if you like.
Yes, yes, yes. That's quite hilarious. Dr. Annie, for people right now listening, and let's say somebody is just into a relationship and they're about to get a silent treatment or are receiving a silent treatment for the very first time. What would you want to say there? What are they supposed to be looking out for? Because it's new for them. They're the newies, I would say, in this space. What things do they need to be looking out for?
Well, I'm not sure what they need to be looking out for, but I think what's much more important is how they choose to react.
Hmm. Right.
So if they have noticed that their partner has gone sulky on them, it's perfectly reasonable to ask, is there a problem here?
Hmm.
If the person says no, you accept that, and then you say, okay, it looks to me like you need some space. So I'm going to give you that space.
Hmm. Hmm.
And if you're not living together, just disappear. If you
Hmm.
are, then get on with your life and make it perfectly clear that you're not buying into the silent treatment, that it's just not going to work with you.
Hmm.
And then they've got to think about the fact that they're doing this thing and they're not getting the payoff that they want.
Hmm. Right. Right.
Done is you've taken the power away from them.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Interesting. Good. Yes.
Yes.
Somebody asked me before when I went live and we had that confusion. Somebody has sent me a message to ask, and they said that I've forgotten the question how it was, but it was related to silent treatment, and now I'm completely blank on it. I just lost the trail. But anyway, if you're still in here, if you're back, please send that message because I just completely forgot what that question was. It was regarding silent treatment. Dr. Annie, let's talk about the no contact, and then I would want you to do a little bit of comparison between the silent treatment and the no contact. Somebody said that to me also, I think.
Oh, they do all the
But
time. Yeah.
yes. So let's talk about no contact. Once we decide to go no contact, somebody said there's a 60, I think I read it online, that there's a 60-day margin where you have to go no contact to break I think, the trauma bond. Is that correct, Dr. Annie? I don't think so. I think it varies from individual to individual, right?
Yes, I mean, I think you can find some justification for that, but at the same time, none of these things work. It's like the sort of whatever it is, 3-date rule before you meant to sleep with someone. I think this is just giving people a very rough kind of rule so that
Hmm.
they have something to hold on to. And if you can go 60 days of no contact, then you're doing okay. You know,
Hmm.
the trauma bond probably will not be so strong. So
Hmm.
it kind of holds true, but it's not really the answer. And
Hmm.
the other thing is, it's a bit like smoking or something, that if you give up smoking for 60 days, you can go, yeah, I'm cured. I'm cured. I'm doing okay. And then another couple of months go by and you then say, well, I think it'd be nice in a social situation just to have the one. And
Hmm.
that's the same thing as, yeah, it's, I'm so over him that we can actually have contact now.
Hmm. Oh,
And,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
and
Oh, that's a good one.
yes,
Yeah.
and then you're straight back at square one.
Square one. Yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes. So, Dr. Annie, when you do go no contact, now first let's get to the point where you decide to go no contact, right? And now, and you're in the initial stages, but you're tempted for whatever reasons. They're trying to bring you back, or you tempted to have a contact. What strategy would you want the victim to apply at that point for them to hold on to not breaking the no contact?
Well, I'm kind of getting lost with the question here because it's that same thing, It's that old line, what part of no are they not understanding? No
Mm,
is no is no. No
mm,
contact means I am done with you. I am done with this relationship. I am cutting you off for good now.
mm,
That's the fact. There is no going back from there. And if
mm,
someone is nagging you to have contact with them when you've said you're going no contact with them, they are showing no respect for your wishes. This is a
mm,
violation of your boundaries, and that is unacceptable. I
mm,
have no contact with you because I love you. Who cares? I made my
mm,
decision. That's
mm,
that.
mm,
I'll promise you everything you ever wanted. Too late, old chum. You had all the chance
mm,
in the world before.
mm,
No
mm,
contact is no contact. It's done. It's
mm,
dust.
mm.
So,
Interesting.
when you go no contact, it is that they are literally dead to you.
Mm.
Because
Right.
other,
I was going to get to that question. Somebody said they don't understand. Well, like she said, you don't have to worry about if they are understanding or not. You have made a commitment to yourself, no contact. So you need to understand and stay grounded on that, regardless of what they want or what they need. And somebody said, I was already going to get to that. If you have a child with them, then of course, no contact is not an option. What
yeah.
would you suggest in that scenario?
Then you have to manage contact very effectively. You
Using the gray rock method, right?
Well, first of all, you reduce contact to an absolute minimum. If you can do it only by email, you do it by email. If you can do it only by one of the parenting apps so that your interchanges can be taken into court if necessary, you do it that way. You do not have them blowing up your phone. You do not have them appearing at the door. You limit it as much as possible, and then you limit your contact. You limit your verbal exchanges to the bare minimum. I will be picking the child up at 2 o'clock. That's not convenient. We agreed 3 o'clock. The child will be there at 3 o'clock. End of that is it. Well, I want 2 o'clock. 3 o'clock is the arrangement. You just keep it factual and minimal.
Right, that's interesting. Dr. Eddie, when you go no contact, don't you, well, you've been through it yourself too. Don't you think we all go through that stage of the withdrawal of feelings, the withdrawal of emotions through that dynamic of the drama, and of course then we come back to the trauma bond. So that struggle, that struggle that you have initially, when even though you said you're going no contact, I think a lot of us, I mean, I've struggled personally as well. You choose to go no contact, but now you're going through the anxiety of wanting to go back. uh how do you overcome that for yourself?
I think you have to remember just how bad it can be. And the temptation is to get caught up in this crazy loop of, yeah, but they've got it this time. They say they love me. I know they're going to change this time. It's going to work out this time. I haven't met anybody who has managed to make it work successfully when they've
Mm.
got back. I know I get a load of people on my Instagram, and you do, who say that Dr. Yuga's spells or something will sort it.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah.
Dr. Annie, I have to stop you here. This is really funny. So before you came live, I went live and I had to go off 3 times
Mm.
because there was this person whose name was closed account, and they kept on sending messages here saying that, can we do black magic and bring my ex back? Can you do something, please, please? I literally had to write their name, go offline, block them, and then come live because I was like, they're going to just kill my live stream.
Yes. Yes. Well,
Mhm.
these tiresome people I'm sure they think they can work magic and take your money for nothing. However,
Mm.
in reality, they will not, narcissists will not change.
Change. Mm.
But the thing is that each time you go back, it
Mm.
gets harder. It gets
Mm.
harder to get away. So the question is whether you will have the strength. That's what took me out in the end, that I was terrified that if I didn't do it then, I never would.
Mm.
And I think for a lot of women, it reaches the point where they think, if I go back one more time and they let me down, it will kill me.
Yes. Yes, yes. Dr. Ani, I don't know if you've seen the series The Maid. In that it's on Netflix and it's
Mm.
all about emotional abuse and narcissism. And it was really amazing to see that they were just trying to show when you're in an emotional abusive relationship and when you go no contact and then you're pulled back, that you're not alone. Many women go through that cycle when they go to the shelter and they say, this is enough, we're done, no more.
Mm.
And they're pulled back. And then there was a study and they say some women take 25 times, some women take 5 times, some women
Yeah.
take 10 times to get to a point where they actually realize and put their foot down to going no contact. For
Mm.
some people over here in this space thinking that, oh, we went no contact, but we now suck back in, so we'll never be able to leave and stuff like that. I just wanted to share that there is hope. Sometimes it does takes quite a lot of time to really get to that point where you really see the reality. And I think that it's important that we realize it ourselves than somebody telling us or showing us, because when somebody does, we never really see it. We have to realize it and come to terms with it on our own.
Yeah. And I'll also say that I've worked with women in shelters, and certainly my local shelter back in Essex, where I happily no longer live, that was a fabulous place. Nobody wants to be in a shelter, but it was a fabulous place because people really cared. And support groups are really powerful to help
Mm.
you get out. I mean, the shelter run different support groups for people to help them get out and help them stay out. And the grounding of being with other people really helps. It's tough to do it on your own, but some kind of group makes it so much easier that you can
Mm.
actually say to other people, God, I really want to go back. And they go, yeah, I know exactly how you feel. And it's
Yeah,
about,
it becomes relatable, right? You feel
yeah,
validated and it becomes real.
yeah.
My most I literally have my copy pencil for this conversation because this is something I really wanted to learn from you, and that's reactive abuse.
Mm.
How would you define that, Dr. Annie?
Oh, well, reactive abuse is when you have, as far as I'm concerned, it's when you have been pushed and pushed and pushed into a corner by a narcissist and you actually snap. And
Hmm.
it makes me think of my first Shih Tzu, the one who got my then husband out. And one day my daughter had a few little friends round and they're playing together, and one of the children, who I did not like, came to me and said to me, your dog tried to bite me. And I looked at him because you might as well have said that there were pigs flying. She loved children. She was a very gentle dog. And he said, no, 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 she tried to bite me. And he went upstairs and I heard a lot of noise. So I tiptoed up the stairs, nasty woman, tiptoed along behind, and I saw what had happened, that they had literally pushed that little dog into a corner. They had a door that was more or less closed, and she was caught in between the wall and the door, and they were annoying her. And in the end, she was snapping. And
Hmm.
that is what reactive abuse is about, that you have
Hmm.
been pushed so far that you actually behave in a way that is decidedly out of character.
Hmm.
And then the abuser goes, yes,
Hmm.
jackpot, and says, you
Hmm.
see how abusive you are? You're the one
Hmm.
who's been abusing me
Oh yes.
all along. But the
Hmm.
reality is that you have just been forced into this situation where you have snapped. It's a bad sign. It's a sign that you really need to get out because you've taken so much.
Right, right. So how does, I think it's more like a self-defense mechanism, right? It kicks in because, right, somebody who is right now acting out of being in an abusive relationship and they've been pushed, how do they figure it out that they are not the abusers themselves, but just reacting to the abuse they have been going through?
Well, I think it's really important that they own what happened and that they accept it in the context of being driven mad again and again and again. It's hard for them to hold on to their truth, but if they look back, they will know what's happened to them. They will know all the times that their partner has driven them crazy, and they have to find a way to hold on to their truth.
Mm-hmm.
And
Right, right.
yeah, and you just have to say that if I'm behaving in a way that I find unacceptable, then I cannot be in that.
Mm-hmm.
Reactive abuse leaves you feeling incredibly bad.
Yes,
When the
yes.
narcissist acts out, he doesn't feel bad at all. He's loving it. So that's
Mm.
a huge
The
difference.
feeding on it, right, right.
Yeah,
And I think that you can identify if you are in doing the reactive abuse thing is because then you actually kind of say, this is not me, I don't act like that.
yeah,
uh so that is a kind of a way of seeing where you're coming from, because you don't act like that, but you never do that, but because
yeah,
of the abuse you've been through, you've been pushed to your limit to respond in a certain way which you wouldn't have otherwise.
yeah.
Somebody said they lost their son. I was trying to read their message. I'm so sorry for your loss. Somebody said something. I just lost a son, 39 years old, right after my boyfriend and I had to call the paramedics on home due to hurting himself due to alcohol. So sorry to hear about your loss. And finally made me, what finally made me leave forever was realizing I was doing this, being driven crazy. Yes,
Mm,
yes, yes.
yeah.
You're right, right.
I saw someone else say that she wasn't living according to her moral code, and that's one of the things that happens when you're around a narcissist for so long.
Yes, and somebody asked when you were talking about the shelter that where can they go if they have a dog and furniture? Do shelters not take people with dogs and furniture, Dr. Annie? I have no idea on that.
I would have thought that that was difficult because certainly in my country, shelters are really short of money and they just don't have great facilities.
Okay,
But
okay.
they would have to ask wherever they are.
Wherever they are. Gotcha,
Mm.
gotcha. Uh, Dr. Annie, are there any programs, any mastermind classes? I think you said you did a workshop, right, recently on what did you say you did a
Oh,
workshop on?
grey rocking.
Yes, Grey Rock Method. If people are interested in that, where can they find you? And if there's something that you are planning to do in the future also, where can they get all that information from?
Well, all the information can be found via the link in my bio. That's the simplest place to go.
Okay.
Just under at Dr. underscore Annie PhD, and it's all there in the link. The Grey Rock Star thing masterclass is one thing that is a standalone workshop which teaches you exactly how to grey rock people and have a lot of fun doing so, and
Mm,
actually get the better of the narcissist and go away laughing. That doesn't mean you should stay and play games with a narcissist. It means that if you have to engage, you can do it more successfully. And longer term, I've got a membership that people can join and get ongoing support and education and enlightenment and their questions answered. And that's something that I enjoy very much. And I'd like to think that the people in it do too.
Yes, yes, yes. Somebody said they provoke me, and then I become the abuser. Provoking is, I think, a kind of a manipulation to get you to believe that you are the abuser, not them. I
Yes,
think so, right?
yes, that's exactly what was happening with my little dog. That they provoke,
Right.
provoke, 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 and then when you snap, they go, see, it was all you all along. And it was.
Mm, right, right. Bain says he's not going to drink anymore, though that's yet to be seen. Denial is a huge word,
Mm,
right? The break free membership, it's so helpful with Dr. Annie. There we go.
bless you, Anne.
Yes, yes, yes. Unfortunately, what actually happens to me has changed my life.
Yeah,
Well, Dr. Annie, thank you so much for coming forward and
my,
sharing so many, highlighting so many topics today. It was amazing. Like always, I'm super excited and thrilled to have you. I always learn so much from you. Dr. Annie, your final message to everybody listening to you right now.
uh, I think it would be that sometimes it feels impossible that you can get away from the narcissist and get your life back. That's how they want it to feel. They want you to feel infantilized and powerless, and you always can. You may not be in a pretty place when you leave, but you can always get back to being the person that you really are.
Right, right. Thank you, Dr. Annie. Thank you, everyone, for joining in. Guys, I'm sending you so much love. I just want to say, believe in yourself. You've got this. Like Dr. Annie said, it's never an end. You can, at any point, leave a narcissistic relationship, find the right support around you, and you got this. Just believe in yourself. Thank you, Dr. Annie. Everybody, take good care of yourselves. We are out. Much love.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.